What's going on, guys? It's your boy Hatter, FFL commissioner. And I had to bring my dude on here. You know what I'm saying? He was you could say a little away from the keyboard for a while. Mr. Chick Hernandez.
What's up? How you doing?
How
What's going
you
on?
doing, bro? Hey
How you
man.
doing? How you doing? How
How
you
you doing?
doing?
Emmy Award winner, Sportscaster. All right. Yeah, we gotta put some respect on his name now. You know what I mean?
Eh, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Eh.
hey, you the dude, man. I remember I was jumping around couch to couch watching you, and on the post game
Mm-hmm.
with our boy B Mitch.
Yep.
So, how you been, man? How's everything going?
Everything's good, man. I mean, had personally a tough year. Went through cancer and COVID,
Yeah,
but came back from that pretty strong. I'm a golf addict, so I'm playing a lot. In fact, I played today in the
right,
heat.
right,
But no, I'm good. I have getting ready for my play-by-play schedule with CBS and the Commanders. I've been doing CBS for the last 3 years, college football
right.
and basketball. So yeah, it's funny because being from this area, everybody says, "Well, did you retire?" I'm like, "Retire? I got 3 kids. You
I'm
know,
telling you, man, you can't retire too early,
retire.
chick.
I
Man,
just I just wasn't on NBC Sports Washington anymore. But I left them in 2018 and took a year off
right,
to play some competitive golf,
right,
and kind of chill, relax, get
yeah,
over the sting of not having a contract renewed, and then slowly started to make my way back. And play by play was that way to go because that's a
yeah,
whole different kind of juice than being in studio, which I did for 25, 30 years.
right. And I mean, obviously, it's a great way to come back, but it's a great way to come back with this new era we got going on.
Mm.
I mean, it's obviously Dan out the door now. You know what I mean?
Bye, Dan.
And but that's it. By
Bye, Dan.
Dan. That's it. And the thing is, every year. I mean, every year we get that big name signing. I'm like, okay, man, this something's gonna happen this year, right? Oh man, it's gonna be a new year. Well,
Oh,
never nothing happened. But now we could actually really see and say it's a new year. I mean, what are you expecting, man? What do you think is gonna happen?
I don't. So one of the, it was funny. It's one of those things, people ask me predictions and all that kind of thing. I literally had her don't do it. Just because like I listen to talk radio and they'll go through an entire season and guess what the record's going to be. And
Right,
then at the end of the year, they never pay it off. They never say, oh, I was right or I was wrong. They never pay it off. So it's like,
right,
it's silly. What I will tell you is that I expect that it's an organization that's going to resemble an NFL organization.
right.
All the mess, the last, well, I call it decades of darkness.
Yep.
Um, but even, the last 3, 4 years, all of the crap that was directly tied to the owner, Dan Snyder, is gone. They have made
Finally.
wholesale changes. And so while they didn't make a huge signing in the offseason, they really did. They got a new owner, a new
Right.
ownership group, and Josh Harris and Mark Ein and Mitchell Rails, Magic Johnson. So this is the first time where they've actually, as in the immortal words of one Bruce Allen, this is the first time they've actually won the offseason because they've made these changes. And
Right.
you can tell it when you go out to camp. I mean, there's now stands. I mean, I was out there yesterday. I'm just like, this doesn't even look like, Ashburn. It was
It's
like,
different, ain't it?
I was like, this is an NFL team, and the fans are being treated with respect.
Right.
So it's a whole different ball game. And Saturday they're gonna have 10,000 out there. Come on, man. It's a whole different ball game. What they do on the field, I don't know. I
That
know, right? I
is the
know,
thing. That's
right,
the question. Yeah.
right.
That is the thing we're all trying to
But
put
you
our
can't predict it.
goggles on.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can't predict it. And Ron Rivera, this is the make or break season for him for sure.
Oh,
But
definitely.
but
Especially with Eric in there,
I
Bieniemy
mean,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Hey,
and Bieniemy's in there, and being at practice yesterday, I mean, you could hear his voice, and he's got those guys. There's no slow jog back to the huddle now. Now it's if somebody's slow jogging, Eric is on them in a heartbeat. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And
hmm,
so I expect them to be a better run organization. Will that equate
right,
to wins? I don't know
right.
because you have a quarterback who's played one NFL game in Sam Howell.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. You
Yeah.
hope, and you want to see it. And with this Bieniemy offense, I expect that the running backs will be getting a lot of play from the on the ground and through the air.
Now, do you think when it comes to running backs, um, I feel like I feel like Brian Robinson got a little edge over in Gibson,
Mm-hmm.
just because of the way he runs the ball and just the way he's more powerful.
Yeah,
I feel like we would need to see more of him, catching from the backfield and all
yeah,
that,
yeah,
which Gibson's very good at.
yep.
But I feel like, man, B Rob might take it over, and he's a good friend of mine. And obviously, what happened last year with him, and
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
him coming back, it's
yeah,
gonna be very good to see. A dude coming back from all that, which he did last year, did amazing, and this year just kind of establishing himself as the starting running back.
yeah.
I
I
feel
mean,
like I feel like that's what's gonna happen. I
uh,
mean,
look, he's ripped. He's in
oh yeah,
tremendous shape. But it's an Eric Bieniemy offense. So
right,
so I was talking to somebody the other day about Chase Young. Him, will he be on there? Will he be on the field for the first play? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because they're going to get a whole lot of playing time, and I can guarantee you that Bieniemy would rather have a stable of 2 or 3 backs more than one, especially with the recent way that running backs are being treated. You know,
super bad, man.
right?
Telling you,
So I mean, B. Rob, Gibson, and Jonathan Williams runs like he stole something. He
oh yeah,
runs angry.
yeah,
And if you can get those guys catching balls out of the backfield, then it just becomes so much more dangerous
right.
with that tight end crew and the wideouts. That unit, that's top. That's tops one of the tops in the league.
I I, I
If
believe so
Sam can
too.
get in the ball, so
Yeah,
I think with the Bieniemy, he's going to be able to utilize it, and he's looking at it right now. Every day in
right.
practice, who's catching the ball, who's running the right routes. I mean, he's correcting routes while the play's going on.
Hmm,
That's impressive, and so it's ingrained in these guys immediately. They don't even have to go
right.
back to look at film because he's saying right now, "Hey man, hold your line, hold your line." He's screaming, "Hold your line," and
Hmm.
that backer goes with him, and that creates an opening on the backside. So it's going to be fun to watch for
I
sure.
mean, I definitely think Eric Bieniemy is gonna be something we never had, for a while.
Mhm.
And obviously,
Well, we had it with Kyle Shanahan, but they didn't like him.
exactly. Yeah, well, we had it with even with Sean and
Sure, but
all,
Sean
and then
wasn't really the dude back
it
then.
wasn't really the dude, but
Right.
it was at least better than the last 3 years. You're
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And the thing is, obviously we have a thing of getting a player and then a coach and then letting him go. And then we're stuck in quicksand. That's
Yeah.
how it's always been.
Yeah.
So now obviously with Dan out the door and having the whole, new little fresh start. Let's see if
How old are you?
27.
20. So you're just a youngin. Good. You just said something that struck something with me. Back in the day when you watched the old westerns and stuff, the quicksand scared the urine out of me
Oh,
because I
did it?
thought it's because you see it on TV like, oh my gosh, they're running the
I'm
quicksand
telling you, hey
and they never
man,
get out. They never get out. They're gonna die. They're gonna die.
I
And
never saw.
in
Yep.
real life, there's no such thing.
That's not
In real
such.
life,
I was about to just ask you. Ain't no
there's
such
none.
thing
There's
as
none.
quicksand, man.
No, there's no
I've never
quicksand.
seen quicksand in my life.
No, it's made up, but it scared kids to deave.
Man,
Anyway,
that's
sorry,
crazy,
I
man.
digress.
Hey, man, we gotta put a little lawsuit on the person who made quicksand, man. I'm telling you, man. But hey, I mean, funny you said that because I mean that's how it felt like. It just felt the team was just fake in the sense, right?
True,
I
true.
mean, it
Yes,
felt like
every
we get
step
the
they
big
made.
name. Yeah, I felt like it was a fake thing. Like we get a big name signing, they're gone in like 2 months, not even the whole year.
Yeah,
Something happens, they
something
break their leg, break their
Oh,
something.
awful, awful.
Oh, I'm telling you,
It's like being a quarterback in Maryland. I mean, they used 5 quarterbacks one year, and one was a linebacker.
exactly.
So when you losing quarterbacks left and right, I mean, everybody thought talked about Bobby Three Sticks, Mr. Griffin, that
All right,
rookie year in 2012, and what a ridiculous year it was. But he had a track body,
right.
not a football body, and when he wrapped that knee around Haloti Nada from the Ravens, it was all over.
That's it.
And
Yeah,
then
I mean, even
Kirk got
remember the
his spot.
Bengals game?
Yeah,
Yeah, he got hit over in that game too, and
yeah.
from what Paulson was saying, he was saying that RG3 wanted to become a pocket passer.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he told
and
Shanahan, "I'm not doing that." Yeah.
yeah, and Kyle Shannon, the whole thing
Mhm.
was that okay, Kyle Shannon is trying to change the way he plays to make him a pocket passer, but
Right.
RG3 is the one that made that decision.
Right. Yeah.
So, I guess it is what it is. I mean, it sucks he went to the Browns afterwards, right? I mean,
Well, it
there was
was
not a
bad.
I
It was
mean, that
bad.
was a
It was
uh,
bad. He was done. His leg
it
was
was
done.
done. I mean
Yeah.
I forget about even the leg. I mean, as soon as I saw the reports, when he went to the Browns,
Yeah.
I was
No,
like, man, that's the
he was backing up Lamar for a little while in Baltimore. I mean, and
yeah,
you thought, well, maybe because Lamar was a faster version of Robert
right.
and quicker.
Right, but
And
remember a few of those games when RG3 was taken off, he would just started limping. I
yeah, oh
mean,
yeah,
and I was
that,
like, damn. I
that leg
mean,
was
I
never the
say,
same. Leg was
I was
never the same.
like,
Never the
exactly.
same. Yeah, yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but yeah, man, like
He's turned
Eric
out okay.
Bieniemy, yeah, that's true. He's not, he's making these funny videos nowadays, man. You be
Hmm.
peeping that? I'm like, hey, man, this boy trying to be like us. Trying to, he's trying to, get something going for himself with
He's got it.
comedy.
He's
He
got it.
got it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But hey, Eric Bieniemy won 2 Super Bowls, and people are nagging him. Oh man, it's because of Andy Reid. Blah blah blah. Well, now I feel like like you were saying, Ron is on the hot seat.
No
You
question.
know,
No
and
question.
Eric Bieniemy, if he comes in here and starts, putting these boys in order in offense and them scoring 30 points a game, hey, it's gonna be different, man. It's
Well,
gonna
here's
be very tough.
the issue is Bieniemy. If Bieniemy is successful, so is Ron Rivera.
Right.
So you can't then let Rivera go,
Yeah,
right? You can't
that's
do that.
true.
So he's
Right.
the head coach, and he's brought in Bieniemy,
Right.
and he's literally said, this week I am delegating to Bieniemy and Jack Del Rio more. I'll be in the meetings, but he's it looks like he's kind of heading towards an executive
Right.
role with
Right.
this organization. But if Bieniemy's good, then Ron is good.
Right.
The only way Ron is out is if they fall on their if they're very average, then Ron is
Right.
out, and but most likely then Bieniemy gets the shot. But we're so far ahead of ourselves at this point.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I just want to see him put a good product on the field and see production and
Right.
see them grow. And the defense, if it holds steady like it did last year, I mean, it could be
Yeah.
a really good squad. It all falls down on QB1. Simple as
Yeah.
that. It
I
really
mean,
does.
Howell, I mean, he did show some,
Some,
he
yes.
did show some,
Hmm.
some excitement in that Cowboys game,
He's got it.
right? I mean, he was
He's got a
slinging
little
it.
power in his arm,
Yeah, he was
right?
slinging it. He was definitely
Yes.
slinging it, and I
Yep.
guess, and he did make that rushing touchdown. So
He did, but now it's a whole new offense.
a whole new
And so
offense. That's it.
how quickly can you grasp? I played quarterback in high school and junior college, and when
There we go.
you get a new offense, new coordinator, there's lingo that's got to be had. That you got
Right.
to get. That's got to be at the tip of your fingers.
Yep.
Yeah, if everybody watches. I mean, did you watching the quarterback show?
I
Uh,
heard I have heard about the show. Never
yeah,
watched it.
the quarterback show is great, and literally Kirk Cousins is in the
It's
huddle,
Kirk.
and
Yeah.
Kirk
Yeah.
Kirk is one of them.
Yeah.
Holmes and
At Holmes.
and
Yeah.
and Kirk's in the huddle and just flat out forgot the call. So he basically said, Jet Z 134 whatever. But the tight end knew what he was supposed to do because of what Kirk had said early.
Right.
But literally said whatever because he forgot what the verbiage was.
That's
But the
crazy.
tight end knew what it was, and
Right.
they got a touchdown out of the play. So it's a brand new ball game. It's almost good that Howell only had one season under
Right.
Scott Turner, so it's not that ingrained. And no doubt, as soon as Bieniemy was hired, that was one of the first meetings that he had was with Howell. And here's the playbook, learn it, and we'll start testing long before this training camp. So
Right.
it sounds like Howell is feels pretty comfortable with the verbiage.
Right. And I mean, I don't want to put no. I'm not trying to say Jacoby is not the guy, but obviously he's. I feel like Jacoby just is that perfect backup, right?
Uh-huh.
And if he, I don't really see him coming in at all unless Howell just plays so bad.
Right.
But I mean, I feel like Howell might just go the whole season this year, man. I feel like that could be a possibility, first time ever, and And it's funny. It's funny you laughed on that because it's funny, man. Some of those times, man. Remember some of those days waking up Sunday, man. Who's gonna be the quarterback for us today?
Right, right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and it's crazy. It's very crazy.
Well, they're saying, I mean, everybody's hooked on the fact that Rivera had said that he was, months ago that Sam Howell was the dude. You know what? It's not the case. I mean,
Right.
if Sam's not playing well in training camp and in these preseason games, there's no reason for Ron Rivera to say, well, I said he's going to be the guy, so he's got to start game one. That's not
Right.
the case. If
Right.
Jacoby comes out and is balling, they'd be stupid to go, wait a minute, this guy's really picked it up quick and is executing better than this guy. So we've got to go with this guy. So I don't think it's a given, even though he said it months ago. It's not a given, and he said it's a competition. So
Yeah,
we'll
it
see what
definitely is a
happens.
competition, but I definitely think Howard's gonna come out though. I mean,
You'd hope.
did
Yeah,
you see? Were you there when he was swinging to Terry the other day?
I was
The
there
post.
yesterday. Yeah,
Oh, you were there. I
yeah.
mean, those. I mean, they're
Oh,
coming on
he's
hot.
got a cannon. Oh yeah, no, he's
It,
got
it,
it.
it's
He
kind of
made some great
reminding me
throws.
how it's kind of reminding me how Wilson when he came out his first year. I mean,
Right, right.
it's pretty good,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, it could definitely be something we never had. I mean, last time I saw the best, obviously passer was Kirk Cousins. I mean, he
Yeah,
knowed how to sling the ball,
he
and
did.
you know,
He made a
and obviously,
bunch of blunders too, but yes,
yes, definitely. But I
yeah.
mean, the blunders we don't remember much. It wasn't that bad. Kirk wasn't that bad, I would say. I
I
mean,
I don't know about that. He made
okay, you
some
tell me. Okay, Chick,
I
go
don't know.
ahead.
He made
Go
some
ahead, bro.
untimely and stupid plays that
Oh, I mean, of
you
course, of
right.
course.
But
Right,
I have a lot of respect for Kirk, even after watching the quarterback show, because I
right,
saw the beating he was taking
right,
in Minnesota and the fact that
right,
he was still able to play. So no, I went out to Kirk's camp
right,
in Michigan and watched him teach these kids, the game of football. So I'm a Kirk Cousins fan,
right.
and he has surpassed, I think, what even he thought was possible when he was in college at Michigan State.
Well, how about this? Last 10 years for us, who do you think was the best quarterback we had?
Unfortunately, his leg got broken, snapped in two.
Alex Smith.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
would have been if he didn't get
yeah.
hurt. He would have directed that offense. Just didn't get enough time.
I mean, he
Um,
did take it to the last playoff,
yeah,
the
yeah.
playoffs in
So
2020. So I mean,
I think he was in the last 10 years. So you're talking 2013 or 2012. If you want to go back, Robert had a great rookie season.
oh yeah, obviously. I
Um,
mean, hey, bro, remember those seasons, man?
oh yeah,
That
we
was the
had
only. That was the
yeah,
only season when the post game was on and B Mitch was smiling.
yeah.
That was the last time I remember him smiling on
I
the
mean, we
post game.
had thousands of people at our pregame, postgame shows outside the stadium. It was electric.
Oh yeah,
We felt it. Um, yeah, I mean, it was a different time for sure.
right,
But it went,
man. I
but
mean,
it went snap just like that though.
I'm telling you, and but bro, it's crazy, man. I mean, we had so much, like you were saying, blenders, man. I was a week ago. I was with on with Anthony Armstrong, and he was
Double
telling me,
A.
yeah, and he was telling me, the story with about Jim Zorn being.
Oh,
It's like, man,
dude. I mean,
like
that was
remember those
awful.
times, Nick? I mean,
I'm
Chick, I
chick.
know, I know you were there, bro. In the post game, you would just look sleepy as hell, man.
No, I
You were
wasn't
like,
sleepy.
man,
No,
I was
no.
like, you were like, man, look, I want to go home.
I said they suck one time on the air, and everybody got on my case. But I'm like, I'll never sugarcoat it. I told the
Oh yeah,
truth.
I think I
Um,
remember. I don't
but
remember that.
when they hired what was his name, Sherm Lewis,
Oh yeah,
or Sherm Lewis or Sherm Smith or Sherm
yeah.
Lewis, who was a really good offensive coordinator back in the day. But when they hired him and they asked him in the press conference, "Hey Sherm, what have you been doing lately?" Calling bingo, huh? What? And so I had to do every Monday after games. I was live with the coach on
Right,
Comcast or NBC Sports Washington. So at 5 o'clock we were live, and when Zorn walked in, I was like, I have to ask you about Sherm. This is after the first game,
right.
and he just looked at me. He's like, "Do you have to?" I said, "Yeah, I mean, I have to." I said, "We're going to talk about the game and stuff, but I have to ask you about the addition of Sherm Lewis." And
Man, what the
so
heck?
he's like, yeah, he goes, I know you got to do your job. So we talked about the game a little bit, and I said, all right, coach, I do have to ask you about the addition of Sherman Lewis, whose last job was calling bingo.
Right.
He just looked at me. It's one of the greatest reactions. He just looked at me, never looked at the camera, and just said, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Like, he did a great job of basically saying F you to the organization without saying it. You know, he just
Oh
went, he
man,
goes, what do you
that's
want me to say?
hilarious.
Because he was
That's
handcuffed.
hilarious.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
hilarious.
That's the way the organization was under Dan Snyder. I mean, Zorn wasn't being interviewed as the head coach. He was
Yeah.
coming in as an OC or a quarterback's coach, and they told him to go home during the interview, go home, put on a suit, and come back.
All right.
And so him and Snyder and Allen interview him when he gets back with the suit on, and they make him head coach when he should never been the head coach. But that's the way they work.
It was funny because Anthony was saying, obviously, when they were in the locker room and in the conferences, in the meetings, player meetings, I mean, everyone's on their phone and coach is talking, right?
Awful.
And it's crazy. I mean,
Awful.
and then, there's so many things, man. It was the Grossman era, and the
Rex, all coach.
McNabb era.
Awful.
Oh man, I mean,
Yes.
it was
So
crazy.
bad. It was so bad. And I don't think we're not, well, I know we're not going to see that kind of stuff again. Because, Josh Harris, Mark Ein, Mitch Rails, they all lived it.
I
They've
was
all
about to
been,
say, if that's
they
gonna
were,
happen again, you can
they
go take
lived
another.
through
Yeah,
the heyday
right,
of the burgundy and gold. So they know what it was before.
right,
And they've witnessed the carnage
right,
that is Dan Snyder and company. So
right.
they're not, and Magic ain't playing that. We're not doing stupid stuff. We ain't
Oh
doing
yeah,
that. So
yeah.
that's gonna be amazing when Magic's at a game. That's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, definitely, man. I mean, Imagine what? Imagine at least 3 feet taller than you.
Everybody's 3 feet taller than me. What are you talking about? Well, if
Oh,
he's 3 feet tall, he's 8'6", so it's not 3 feet. But
woo!
yeah. I mean, he's tall.
Yeah.
Everybody's taller. That's all right. Put him on a golf course. We'll see who's bigger.
Oh man.
Uh-huh.
Hey man, you really be golfing like that, huh, bro?
I can play the game. So when I went down to Augusta, Georgia to work, CBS affiliate way back in the day,
Yeah.
they see somebody of this color on the driving range. The people that were there, I know I go out and play as a single, and so they pair me with people, and I look at the looks I get,
Right.
and down their nose at me before we even hit the first ball, and then they I get on that first tee, and they go, well, do you gamble when you play? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever you want to, I just play it down, whatever you want. Yeah.
Sugar's like,
Some
yeah, no
guys,
problem, man. Let me get that quick cash.
but I didn't say it like that, right? And some guys played for a lot of money, some guys did not, which is
Right.
fine. Some guys didn't play for money at all, but I took all bets, and I left Augusta ahead on the ledger. So, and
Oh man, my boy took the
it's
first class home, ain't it?
and it's the game of golf teaches you about people, and so
All right.
the ludicrousness of it is that before the round of golf, they're just out and out racist. By the end of the round of golf, they've forgotten about the color of my skin, and now they're just talking about the content of my game, and it's
That's
stupid.
crazy.
It's
That
stupid.
is crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy, man.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of golf, who's better, you or B Mitch?
I think I score better than B Mitch. He can get on a heater. I've seen
Okay.
him. I saw him in. We all went to Tampa one year, and it was
Right.
rained. It rained all the night before. The course was so long, playing so long because there was no roll, and he shot. He went off. He shot 70 something. We all were just like, what? So he can get on a heater. He's very strong, obviously. But I have a short game. I can putt, and I can still hit the ball decently long. So
Right.
all in all, I score better than B Mitch does, but I don't we don't ever bet when we play
Why is
because
that?
we've been friends for a long
Oh
time.
yeah,
And
you can't. You can't be really betting with the
I
boys,
just don't. Yeah,
Yep.
I would feel uncomfortable with it.
You don't want to be going like this and on the post game. and with your eyes like this, man. You know what
Yeah.
happened last week. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I
yeah. So
definitely
I'm
understand what you
excited.
mean.
I'm
Yeah,
excited to do the games with him because
bro.
I haven't worked with him
Speak.
since 2018. So this will
Yeah,
be fun.
speak about that, man.
Yeah.
Post game, you're gonna be doing it
No
with
post
B
game.
Mitch
No
and
post game. No
oh,
post game. This is
you're
we're,
gonna call you're gonna be
we're
calling
calling.
the games.
I
Yes,
call the
you
games. B Mitch
with
is my analyst, and
and
Logan
Logan will be
Paulson
there.
on the sideline
Right,
with more analysis and also player interviews.
right,
And preseason's different, obviously, than a regular season, so they'll be much more relaxed. The prep
right.
is huge
Are
because
you
it's
gonna go
90.
into the post game again
No,
after
there's
in the
no
regular
post game.
season? In the regular
No,
season.
no, I don't have a
Okay.
network. I don't work for anybody. I don't work for a network. I'm just doing
Okay,
the
I see.
Commanders games. Once I'm done with the Commanders preseason, I go
Right.
to CBS and start calling college football.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, hey man, it's gonna be fun. It's
It will
gonna
be.
be those fun 3 games for you.
Yes, it will.
You're
Actually,
definitely gonna.
unfortunately, we're only getting two because the Ravens game, they turned into a Monday night game and ESPN took it from us.
Oh, did it?
Yep,
Okay, I didn't even
yep,
know. Oh
yep.
yeah, oh yeah. The Ravens is the last game, isn't it?
Middle one.
Or the
That's the
middle
middle
one?
game. So
Okay,
we're doing the games against the Browns on the 11th,
right.
and then we're doing the Bengals on the 26th, and they just lost Joe Burrow,
I mean, okay. Speaking of Joe Burrow, man,
calf
do you
injury.
think he's gonna be? Do you think he's done for the season, or do you
I
think
don't
he's
think
just
a calf injury is I mean, unless it's worse than we thought, but that was a calf, not an Achilles or an ankle. So it
right?
just depends on what what the actual diagnosis is. But if it's a calf injury, he can come back from that. He won't be gone for the season unless he just ripped it.
Right.
So
I mean,
we don't know yet.
I did see him. You saw that clip, right?
Oh
When
yeah,
he,
yeah, oh yeah. He pulled
yeah,
up. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He
yeah,
pulled up. Looked like a deer had been shot. Yep, no
right.
question.
But definitely, man. Hey, how's Trevor doing nowadays, man? Well, I ain't seen
Matich,
that boy. Yeah.
still working for ESPN.
Okay.
We talk every now and again. Yeah, I haven't talked in a while.
All right.
He's gearing up for he's one of the best college football analysts that ESPN has. He dives into it deep and he'll go. I'm sure right now he's actually traveling to a bunch of the team's camps and will sit down with the coaches and watch the action and get his own stuff. So no, he's a good, very good man. It was a great
All right.
combo between him and B Mitch
Well,
because
yeah.
they were very different.
Those are the days.
They were very different individuals.
Right.
And the fact, though, that they had a lot of respect for each other because they played on the special teams for the Burgundy and Gold together. And they
Right.
literally had their own little lingo.
Right. No,
Instead
I
of,
mean that
right?
too, and then they had their own, they have their own ways of analyzing things.
No question. Yeah.
And I remember that. I mean, they were going at it sometimes,
Sometimes they did. Yep.
but it
Yep.
was in their own ways of analyzing
Yeah.
things. It
We
was like
laughed and cried on that show. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
when Sean Taylor passed
oh yeah,
and 10 years later
man,
when we were doing a show about Sean's passing and I mean, Trevor just broke down. I'll never forget it because we were all three were crying.
right,
Trevor broke down because he literally just said, do you understand why Sean Taylor died? He was protecting his girls, and he was willing to give up his life for them.
right,
He goes, "Is there any greater sacrifice for a man to do?" And we were just sitting there, and we couldn't hold it together. And it's one of those moments you don't want to cry, but you do. And then
right,
because of social media, people responded very positively to the fact that we had a very human moment. So I love B Mitch and Trevor working with them, and
right,
I'm so looking forward to being with B Mitch again, and we're gonna have a lot of fun in the booth. He hasn't done it since 2004. Been as an analyst of a live game, so this is going to be new for him too. Be able to
right.
flex some new muscles.
Oh, definitely. And he does. Yeah, I know, but but he's gonna flex in the muscle, and the muscles are still there. You know what I
Right?
mean?
Yeah.
And he be biking and all that. So he's a avid crazy biker, isn't he?
Absolutely. No, he
I
stays in
mean,
good shape. He stays in really good shape.
he
Yeah.
definitely does.
I do
Yeah.
not, but
Hey, chick, man, don't worry, man. Chick, man, you still chick. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You still the
yeah.
man. You still the
Uh-huh.
man. But hey, man, you gotta come by to the restaurant, man, one of these days, man.
If I'm out there, where is it?
I'll text it to you. I'll text you
Okay.
the address. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in
Oh,
Chantilly, so
okay.
it's not. I
Yeah.
don't think that far from you for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's far from me now, but not far from Ashburn.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can deal
Whenever
with
you're in
that.
the area, I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Swing by and
Little Chantilly golf, then go by the
Oh, there
place,
is,
get
there
some
is.
kebabs. I know.
Oh
I've been
yeah.
at Chantilly. Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
where
for
that
sure.
used to be B. Mitch's home course. Might still be his home course.
Yeah, that's where like I said, he always been
Yep.
coming by and stuff. And Andre Roberts has a restaurant down the street from me too. He
Really?
has a like chicken place that he
Mm-hmm.
opened up.
Very
But yeah,
cool.
man, it's definitely gonna be good this year, man. Our guys definitely it's gonna be a new era, new system, and
Yeah.
can't wait to see you. You know,
Thank you.
calling the
I'm
preseason
excited.
game.
I'm excited. Yeah.
For sure, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited for you. But
Yeah.
man, I appreciate you coming up, on my podcast and
Absolutely.
speaking your mind for sure.
I appreciate it, man.
Hey,
I'll get some kebab when I can.
oh yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Cool.
Hey man, appreciate it. All right, guys, follow him on Instagram, Chick Hernandez at Chick Hernandez.